There's only 3 things that you need to think about when you have a e-commerce business that has a validated product and a market to sell it to. And I'll go to those in a second. And this is based off my experience since growing an e-commerce business from the kitchen bench back in 2013 that now does multiple 7 figures, and working with over 200 e-commerce brands to help them hit record revenue months, whether it's their first $10,000 month, $20,000, $50,000, and some even all the way up to $100,000 months. And so these 3 things I'm going to go through in detail with you today. The first thing is a traffic source. Okay, so if you have a product that is validated, if you have some form of customers coming through the door, even before that point, you need to have traffic first and foremost. So what are the forms that this can come in? There's something we call the marketing triangle. And again, there's 3 elements to the marketing triangle. So it's basically your organic efforts, right? Traffic sources, your paid traffic sources, and your email database traffic sources. So again, anything will come under those 3 things when it comes to how you market to the people in the wider community, right? How you're getting traffic to your site. Now, a really important consideration there is intent. So whilst volume, yes, is great. We want volume, we want as many people as possible to come to our site. They need to be of the right intent. So you need to be using the right means, meaning the right platform, for example. And then even within the right platform, such as meta ads, you need to have the right objective. So an example there, if you're familiar with ads, is basically you can run a traffic campaign or a sales campaign, which is a conversion campaign, right? Whilst traffic makes sense because we're optimizing, we want traffic through the door. Basically, it's going to drive the wrong people with the wrong intent. They're going to be window shoppers. You're going to get a high number of people to our site, the high volume. But then what will that do? No one will buy it and will think we'll get a low conversion rate and we'll think that it was a conversions problem, which is our part B, when really it was actually the source or the intent of that traffic in the first place. Same thing when you run competition, same thing when you do all these events and things. You have to understand where that sits and how that basically impacts on other variables throughout the business. So knowing where the problem actually is, and that's going to come through a lot of experience and advice, to be really honest with you, which is what we do in our paid communities. But you just need to understand the difference of where your problems are and what the cause and effect actually is. But nonetheless, traffic is the number one thing that people want and need, because yes, if only more people knew about us, if only we get more product in people's hands, people would love us and would be a multi-million-dollar business. That's absolutely true for most people, right? So knowing and having strategies to drive traffic and drive it consistently and affordably, profitably, are really, really key to a successful e-commerce business. And that leads us on to point number 2, which is our conversion. So our website needs to convert. Yes, it's great having all this traffic come through, but if we've got a leaky bucket, if no one's converting or a low rate of people are converting, we're in trouble because we're not making any money. So what does that mean? It means that you need to have a functioning website. And when I say function, I mean these 3 things. It needs to be mobile optimized as a priority. It needs to be simple by design. It needs to be easily navigated. It needs to be intuitive and have a great user experience so that if someone in your target demographic goes to it, it's intuitive where they need to go and where they're going to get led to. And you need to take charge with your brand, showing them big call to actions, frequent call to actions. Buy this bundle. This is the best seller. This is the most popular. You need to drive people and not be modest, but be directional and show leadership with your customers. The other thing as a massive point is social proofing. You just cannot underestimate social proofing. And the mistake that I see people make, e-com brands in small to medium size, doing that less than 100K a month, is that they're too modest and they assume that people will trust them because they're good people. They are probably good people, okay, but that doesn't mean that the person on the other side knows who you are or even can trust you for any reason. So you must show as much social proof as possible. This will increase your conversions massively, okay? 80 to 85% of people, before they make a purchasing decision, will look for some sort of social proofing. That's reviews, that's user-generated content, that's other people talking and seeing themselves in the images and in the videos and in the products and using the product as they should. So you just need to understand what helps people convert on site, because you work hard enough to get people to your site, right? And you probably spend money to do so, certainly time, effort, and resources, that you can't afford to let people fall through the leaky bucket because of lack of conversion rate. And that's those factors that I basically mentioned. So you need to know your website's converting. Ideally, it's above the 2.5. I'd say 3% is the real target, but certainly not less than, say, 2%, right? So we need traffic, we need to convert that traffic. The next one is lifetime value. So getting people to spend more money. And I'd include average order values in there too. So part of conversions is increasing the amount that people will spend when they're on site. So bundles, cross sells, upsells, etc. But then from a lifetime value perspective, how can we get people back around? We've already paid to acquire them once, right? If we get them back, it's 5 times cheaper to do so and 5 times easier to do so. So we got to make sure that they have a really good experience that first time around, or second time or third time, and make them feel special and loved and appreciated, so that when we send another campaign out or send them a great offer that they're interested in, that they're going to take that up and convert again, right? That's mostly where we'll get all our profit from, is repeat customers. Cheaper, faster, easier. And we need to just appreciate that and factor that into the offers that we present out to, say, repeat customers. So helping people increase their lifetime values through email flows and through campaigns, through SMSs, through our social content, through retargeting ads, and through just generally being available to them and encouraging them and reselling them, okay? Reselling them on the journey or why they need to buy again and again and again, and never make it easy for them to make an excuse not to do so. That's what good brands do. That's what 7 and 8 figure e-commerce brands actually do, okay? So bring that full circle again. You need 3 things once you've got your product and some validation to run a successful business and to scale massively. You need traffic and a decent amount of source using the marketing triangle, using paid, organic, and database efforts, right? And you need consistent traffic flow. Then you need to convert that traffic. So you need a great enough website that actually converts using especially trust mechanisms and validation and reviews. And then you need third thing, which is lifetime value. So a profitable way to bring people back around. That's through traffic and campaigns and running all sorts of other marketing methods similar to the front end, but making sure we're specifically talking to people that have bought before and know us and love us and trust us, right? So they're the 3 things that you need. So look, I hope this was valuable. You got to consider each one about where your leaky bucket is. As I said right in the beginning, it could be your traffic and the intent, not necessarily a conversions problem. And you probably are neglecting the back end a little bit too much. We see that all the time, and you need strategies to bring people back around to be able to convert them again and again and again, okay? So look, if you want to know more about how we help e-commerce businesses, we go through the exact strategies and literally plug and play step by step in our program. You're welcome to have a look on the link below. If not, no worries, of course. But if you're looking to grow and scale and just sick of the overwhelm and struggle, that's what we do. That's what we help with. If regardless, hope you got value from obviously this training, and give us a like and a subscribe. Would love that. And of course, I'll be providing more value in future trainings. So again, hope this was valuable. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.